on the 23rd here. I'm just like, make it at least to April 1st, A, for term, so I don't have to do the hospital again, and B, so I don't have a third March baby. March is two is enough. 2 is enough.
Yeah, that makes it hard. Or easy when they're young, because you can just do, you know, group birthdays, which is
last year they were the last 2 years. Well, 2 years ago it was combined. Last year it was supposed to be combined, but it got canceled because March was right when shit hit the fan. So we just canceled. Yeah. But my son had his first little separate birthday party this last weekend. But and he's my introvert, so he's like, I just want 2 friends. And so one friend is class, and then one friend is actually my daughter's class, but the 3 of them, and then the older sister from that family, so the 4 of them are actually really good friends. So do a double party between both my kids. So that's cool.
Yeah, cool. Hi, Carol. Hi, Robin.
Howdy.
Hello. I think Deanna said she wasn't going to be able to make it tonight, so I think this is our usual crew. Happy Monday. How's everybody doing now that, oh, here comes Kim. How's everybody doing that they finished 9-week Control Freak?
I have 2 days left.
Oh yeah,
Yay!
To Florida, right?
Yep.
Cool.
But I started off the wall today, so I still have 2 days left of 9-week Control Freak to do.
Gotcha.
Are you doubling up?
I will one of these days.
Yeah.
This week.
Maybe just don't take a rest day or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going away this weekend, so I gotta cram it all in.
Good stuff. At least they're shorter workouts.
Yeah.
Not terrible.
No.
Off the wall. Who has been doing that? I actually had somebody asking me about that. Off the wall. You've been doing it. Was it good?
I did it today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Do you like it better or same or?
I do not like it better. I do not. Well, I mean, for multiple reasons. I found things that I like I feel like Autumn is really good at being motivating in this one, and she's really good at explaining the difference between the 2 programs. But physically, I can tell that I'm doing like the same type of movements that I've done in the past in other programs, just at a different grouping. Whereas with Off the Wall, I actually felt my body being challenged because I was incorporating different movements all together. Right. I mean, from core work to the track work, and so the core work was very not effective today to me. I'm like,
oh yeah.
No, it was the sit-up, which is horrible.
Yeah. It's like, it was not good.
Core ball.
Yeah, I wanted to put it underneath me.
Yeah, it said crunches. I'm like, no, I'm not going old school. I'm using the core ball. I don't care. Yeah.
You rebels.
Exactly. It was boring to me, but I mean, at the same time, it was. But at the same time, I'm gonna, as I said, I'm gonna focus on that. So that I'm gonna focus on the positive, like on Autumn's positivity.
Positivity. I totally get that. I totally get it. I have to say, I was really off put this weekend by actually the last training and how Autumn was like, I got 10 programs, and I just was like, you know, someone had mentioned, I think Carol, you had mentioned how Sean T is such a good group trainer, and I really feel like Autumn missed the mark on making this a collaborative effort, and congratulations. So I just want to congratulate everybody on completing 9-week Control Freak. You guys kicked ass. That was progressively harder and harder and harder. And I think Autumn could have done a much better job saying, way to go, instead of, look at all this I've created. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now, but that was kind of a letdown, because I was like, oh my God, I was starting to tear up too. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, we fit, you know, it's an accomplishment. And she's like tooting her horn over and over again. I was like, oh man. I mean, you guys, everybody did great. So anyway, I will not tell my that, but I will say that amongst friends here in this safe space. That's just thought it was a little odd.
If I did it again, I would do the last phase, because I felt
really?
the last
See,
phase
I would only do the
yeah.
other 2. That's so funny.
I like to challenge myself, and I can, she definitely challenged me with, just picking heavy weights and the moves and stuff. And I agree with Beverly. I missed the track today. The moves were super basic, which was fine. But I'm going to do 1 week of each phase, and then I'm going to move on to my hybrid.
Yeah.
So at least I've tried it and know what I can, say or not say about the program.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the other benefit, since it was moves that we've done before, I was able to know like, oh yeah, I can go way heavier than what she's saying to go here. I'm going to,
Yes,
I'm going to do this DCT right. No, I got that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Or else this isn't going to be working me very well.
Yeah, we'll be going backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice to be able to pick up my 40s and do, the deadlifts with my 40s. It was like, because I didn't pick up anything heavier than a 20 in 9-week control freak. So it was awesome to pick up my heavyweights. So
yeah, awesome. And it was really fun to work out on Saturday, I think, as a group too. I think just, it being the final one, it's always fun working out with everybody, but it was really cool just to, I don't know, beginning, even though my internet sucked, but it was still really fun for those 5 minutes that I was able to talk to you guys.
Aw.
it was fun. I love everybody together. So it was a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, it's just a community thing. So it's just fun.
Well, and then Deanna rocked it out of the house with her meal prep. That was super cool. She did a great job.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. My family loved the tiki masala, if that's what you call it. Yeah, whatever. Still gonna be tiki in my world, but they actually liked it better than I did. I liked it, but I was like, oh, this is good. But they were like, this is great. Okay. No, it was really good. And you guys definitely promote that to your challengers and to your people. I had another coach reach out to me today from a completely different team and was like, I love that idea. Can you give me details? And I want to say like, no, this is our thing. But I will give her the very, very basic, because it's, a lot of companies are doing that anyway, but you don't get Deanna and you don't get somebody preparing it for you because she's done all the work here. So she's making it easier for us as coaches. But definitely keep promoting that too. And speaking of promotions and things, we've got our free group coming up next Monday. Will be the first day of the 5 days. So it's abs and booties. So if you haven't signed up yet to do pull-ups, just a reminder for that. It's in Made for More, so you can do a search for that if you need to find it. But we also want to talk about successes and wins and how everybody's doing. I know Deanna's not on the call, but she's already hit Success Club for the month, which is amazing. So it's very, very awesome. Obviously, her method is working very well for her, the Trina method. So what's everybody else doing? How are things going? How are you guys doing with conversations? And I mean, it's the 8th. You still have plenty of time, but so don't get discouraged. And it's okay if you've been like, I've been way too busy this month to even think about talking to anyone. Sometimes it's just continuing to do your workout. That's
me.
hard to get, and that's totally cool.
I'm sitting at SC2.
Yay!
Nice.
And it just took me being very continuous with follow-ups. I mean, I'm still making new connections. Like today I made new connections on both of the morning and the noon call, because I hop onto both of those if I can. But yeah, and it just took continually following up with different people. And this person is just somebody that took her like 3 months, and she's a past customer of mine too. So it wasn't like it was like a one and done type thing.
Yeah, that's so important though, because it's all about continuing those relationships. It's a relationship business. It's not every once in a while, you don't have some random person you've never talked to be like, hey, tell me about this. Okay, yeah, I want to say about it. It just doesn't happen like that. Sometimes.
So over the weekend, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you're fine.
Over the weekend, so I I have a really hard time like reaching out to people and people I don't know, because I just have a hard time starting conversations and stuff. That's just my own introverted self, whatever. So anyways, so this weekend I was going through Instagram and I was scrolling, and I came across Autumn's page, whatever you call it, and one of somebody who does her workouts had done a video and about her journey and yada yada yada. So I was listening to it, and so I just went through the comments, and I was just reading some of the comments, because I like to see what people say and stuff, and you never know what you're going to read. You might see something. So while I saw these two people who had made comments about yeah, I'd really like to know, what kind of program to start, and then somebody else said, I really need to get started or something like that, and no one commented on them. So I commented on them.
Good for you.
And then I followed them. I requested to follow them. And one of them, they both requested to follow me back, and one of them did reach back. I reached out to them, and with the message, and one of them did reach back to me and say that she had a friend who was a Beachbody person, and she was going to join up with her. And so I said, all right. And she says, but I followed you so I could get some tips and stuff. And I said, okay. I said, well, if things don't work out, just, let me know, and I'm here, and yada, yada. And so the other lady, I haven't heard anything from her, but so I felt really proud of myself.
Yeah, you should. That's
Good for you.
That's
That's awesome.
really awesome. Yeah.
Good job.
Yes. Kim is clapping for you. I second that. Great job. That's coaching out loud. And sometimes it's like, oh no, someone else will respond. It's like, it's hard. It's hard to do that. So good job. Awesome. Anyone else? I did
have
hit Success
two
Club too. Oh, go, really?
You did?
I did.
You
It was totally
Success Club?
random.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was
Good job.
random. I mean, I was a girl I talked to a long time ago, but she bought a boat and said that she couldn't. Actually, she bought my in-laws boat and was like, I can't get a challenge pack because we bought a boat. I'm like, yeah, I know. All right. She was fed up and signed up today. So yeah, it's exciting.
Awesome.
Very cool. I have two new customers that switched to me. They have been in Beachbody. One was a former coach and left her team and left her whole organization and wanted to sign up under me. And I was like, oh, okay, that sounds awesome. So we'll see. So yeah, two new customers.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't have any Success Club points, but I ran a step challenge and totally increased my engagement in my group. So I'm happy with that. I'm sorry that I said I would do them all month long because I'm not going to have any time for inviting. But it was good to get so many people re-engaged, and I really needed to do that. So
yeah,
That's awesome.
Wait, yeah, that's awesome. I find that too. Sometimes engagement is low in my ongoing group, and I just asked the whole team. I was like, how do you guys, because I do the daily accountability posts, and sometimes people comment and then sometimes people don't. Most of the time people don't. I'm like, how do you guys want this? Like, do you want a Google sheet? Do you want a poll? Do you want me just to put a post up? And not everybody commented, but most people did polls, and I can tell a huge difference that the engagement is up. People just want to be able to click the boxes. It's harder on me, which is fine, but yeah, just asking sometimes, like, what do you guys want? And I don't remember who said it. I don't remember if it was on a call, but someone had mentioned something recently too, of just asking people like how often they want to be checked in on, because everybody is different. And I try to do like weekly check in a perfect world, I would do a weekly check-in with all of my ongoing people. I don't always get to it. And then also I find myself a little overwhelmed if I do it all at once. But my point is, some people are like, I don't need you to check in with me. I sent out about 30 messages to my girls and was like, hey, just doing my routine check-ins. How often do you want me to check in with you? And some people are like, once a week is great. I had one girl who was like, can you text me? Again, I realize that sometimes that management of trying to meet people where they're at, texting messages might be a little overwhelming, but you know, as coaches, we get to figure that out of what works for people. And it was just nice to hear. I even had one girl was like, well, I actually might back off with the coaching. I'm like, what does that mean? I'm like, you don't want, she was just going in a different direction. Was like, I'm going gluten-free. And I was like, well, you know, Fixate has a ton of gluten-free recipes. She's like, no, I didn't. I'm like, okay, so we're not backing off of coaching. So yeah, it's just trying to meet people where they're at. Again, it's our job to get into their inboxes and talk to them and continue working on those relationships. Because, you know, we would never want someone to just ghost us as if it was our coach. Like, how would we want to feel? I'm thinking about, let's see, what should I say? Eating dinner, I would like to have cilantro in my braces. Chicken chili. Oh, that's hilarious. Yes, we had the tonight too. So yeah, you know, just thinking about just ways to engage and work with people differently too. It's just kind of cool, but you got to figure out what works for you. And sometimes that takes a long time.
You know, I have some that, I don't know, 3 or 4 people who they're invited to our groups, but I've never seen them engage in our groups, but I text them or message them on the side and check in with them that way. So
yeah,
just to, you know, I just don't want to leave them high and dry, because I point blank told them in their face that, yeah, I'm here for you. I'm not going to just, sign you up and say, see ya. You know, that's not right.
Yeah.
So.
I think
Jen? Oh, go ahead, Lily.
It's fine.
Well, I didn't know, I saw Jen unmuted. I didn't know if she was going to say something or not, so.
Yeah, but go ahead, Lily.
I was just going to say, like Jess said, you got to meet your client and your customers where they want to be met. And so, you know, I have some customers that are like, sell me BOD and I don't want to talk to you again until, you know, next year when when you're going to sell it to me again. Like, don't bug me. And then I have other people that send me their daily meal plans and what they put in their mouth every single day, because that's the only way they can be held accountable. So somewhere in between there, you got to find out what works for your customers.
Yeah.
Great. I was just going to share that I don't have any Success Club points yet either, but I've been having a lot of nice conversations, and actually it doesn't happen very often, but one of my unknown to me customers called me on my cell phone. I don't know if you guys ever have that happen, but this was like, you know, a lead from being in Success Club previously. And she called and left a message and says, it says you're my coach, you know, like they really don't even get it, but I called her back and we got to chatting for a little while, and she doesn't have anything right now, but she said she'd like to get, I think she said she dated herself by saying VHS tapes.
Wow.
I know. I was like, oh my, you are dating yourself. But no, she said she's done 21 Day Fix and really, really likes it. But I think she had the DVD. So she's interested in getting BOD. But the problem is she mentioned, she was asking me about an email she got from Beachbody that was a special for $8 and change a month for BOD.
Oh, that's what it'll work out to be.
BSA annual subscription. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, I'm not really sure if that was a special for you. Like, I wasn't sure what she was talking about. And I said, I don't send those emails. They come right from the company. So do you think I should, because I asked her to follow up on that, like I gave her the customer service number and just to make sure, because, you know, sometimes people want to pay like on a monthly basis, and that you can't do. Only through coaches you can do the quarterly or the annual, but monthly payments, I know that they've offered them, but it's not through us.
Yeah, the monthly breakdown is $8.33 a month. It's probably some kind of a promotional letter that they got, just maybe just giving her a breakdown about how much it would be a month out of her pocket. You
Yeah, I'm
know,
just curious if she wanted to pay monthly. That's not something I could do for her though.
oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
I got that. I would follow up because that's how I was talking with my aunt, and she's super interested in doing it at home. And when I mentioned that it broke down to that
Yes.
and change a month, she was like, "Oh my gosh, okay, so I'm not going to renew my rec center membership anymore, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this." You know, and I think that might be a good selling point, and that was probably a good promo email, Jen, that the Beachbody sent out, because I don't think people realize the monthly breakdown. And when you say, because like I know Planet Fitness and Vasa is big out here, and they say, you know, it's $9.99 a month or $10 a month, and when we can say like, hey, it's only $8 a month, you don't have to leave your house, you don't have to deal with other people and with their germs and with all the everything going on, like, and you're still paying less and you get way more value. Like, I think that that's something that we need to really promote more. I know I was talking with a family at the park the other day, and I didn't overly get info because I was kind of talking to the dad, because the dad was there with the kid while the mom was finishing teaching, and then they're like, "Oh, we need to go for dinner," so she got to the park. So, but I was like, it was such an easy conversation to be like, this workout from home, like going to the gym thing, is, we've been doing it as a company for ever, right? I've been doing it personally for 7 years. We've been Zooming and doing like Zoom workouts and Zoom group coaching and fitness and everything. Like, welcome to the party world 7 years later. But it's been a really good, like we were talking about ROI. Oh yeah, he's a economics teacher or something anyway. And it was like, this is, you know, health and fitness is like huge and it's a big thing to do. And they were looking for jobs after grad school. And I was like, damn, this would have been a good recruiting thing. But I think if we can figure out maybe more how to market the monthly breakdowns, even if it is quarterly. And I'll be honest, when BOD first came out, I was a quarterly customer for probably 2 years instead of doing, because when it came out, like October was bad. We were buying Christmas presents, you know, it's Christmas season. And I'm like, well, I can do $40 versus, you know, $100 at the time. And then finally I was like, this is dumb. Let me just do the year at once. Hi, Flippy Butt. But I don't know if we can market that. I've been thinking about this a lot, and about what power hour was it that I'm sorry, I just totally hijacked this conversation. That,
Okay.
you get what you post about. You know, and we were posting when our team or our business in review emails that we got, and our usage, a lot of us had, like, okay, so I don't have any coaches because I don't post about recruiting coaches. I don't have, so there's a way to tie it all in, because that's how it works. So I don't know, maybe we can brainstorm ideas for that. But Jen, I would follow up with your lead and see if she wants to pay monthly versus a year, and maybe talk to Coach Relations on your own and ask them.
Yeah, I spoke to her on the weekend, so I'm gonna like message. I think it was her home phone number. I might have to call her again. She seemed very old school, so I'll have to probably pick up the phone and like do the phone call thing, which I dread, but I will do it. And I'll just make sure she got the information she needed, and then just make that recommendation.
Yeah, she called you on the phone. She's old school.
Oh yeah, I know. I've gotten several of them, and I could tell they're the older generation, you know?
Oh, that's funny. No, that's great though. I mean, you know, how often do we say that the customer leads, nothing ever happens? So how cool is it that she picked up the phone and actually called you? Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice that she, you know, actually paid attention that there is a coach, because a lot of the leads don't even get that either, that we're here as a resource. you know, and I had to a little bit explain my role. And she said she recently got off of social media because, you know, I always ask them, are you on Facebook, Instagram? Like I run everything through social media. And she's like, oh, I recently got turned off Facebook because I was so sick of it. But maybe you inspired me to maybe get back on as a different person and just follow you.
Aww.
I know. It was a good
Bless your
conversation.
heart.
Yeah, I know, right? No, it was a good conversation. And those are the things that help you like also get more motivated to just have more conversations. And I went out to brunch on Sunday with a couple of friends, and I swear to God, whenever you're with people in person, which we haven't done much of in a whole year, but that's when I feel like conversations for health and fitness always come up because they know what you do. Like, you know what I mean? Most of the time they follow you on social media. And I saw a couple of other friends. It was like a brunch thing at this restaurant. And I don't know, it just made me think like that's one thing that definitely has been missing the past year or two is just seeing people. Because even at sporting events with your kids, you're not really talking with people anymore. You're 6 feet apart and you're not sitting in the bleachers or you're in your car or whatever. So I miss all that because that definitely helps business a bit, you know?
Yeah, I
For sure.
agree. That's talk it's what makes me think about like my posts and how I need to my stories, and it always makes me think of how I need to present myself in different ways. I agree.
Yeah, you should always write your posts in the way you would talk, because if it becomes, I know Deanna's having a lot of success with the Trina method, but if it becomes too scripted, people will tell. If you have those kind of posts over and over and over again, and it's not really your thing, it doesn't feel natural, then people are gonna be like more thinking it's a sales post versus an actual story of that you want to share. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree. What were you gonna say, Lily?
Oh, I was gonna say, so one of the gals saw the customers that switched to me. She saw our Saturday post about our workout together and our meal prep class on Sunday. And she said, I want to be part of your community. And that's why I'm switching to you. So the community is a big aspect that we can push with the Zoom workouts and we have an awesome team. We need to promote that.
Yeah, and something to think about too is, why do you guys show up here every Monday? Like, why do you come to this call every Monday? I mean, I know when we got on here, everybody was like, I'm exhausted. I just want to crawl in bed. Like, what made
8 o'clock for me
tonight and not crawl in bed? Like, I felt the same way. I'm so tired right now. But I'm like, no, we're gonna show up. Yeah, Jen's saying me too. And so share that tonight. Well, maybe not tonight, because I'm pretty sure we're all gonna go crash. But in the morning when we wake up, and one of us who's still on it, probably Lily, because she has another meeting after this, whenever you tag us in Instagram stories, we can share that in the morning, add it to our stories and say, I show up every Monday night because whatever it is for you. So, and thank you, Maribel, that's nice. So I did this training. Well, actually, Carol and I are both doing that training with Cindy, and we got added into this coach collab group, which has a lot of random Beachbody coaches in there. And they did a training actually this week on Instagram. And it's actually a girl that's not with Beachbody at all. She sells makeup. I have no idea what her company is, but if you want to follow her, I think her name is like Jackatex something. I'll tell you guys later. I'll put it in the chat or something later. But I was like, this is really interesting. It's not necessarily anything different than what we've heard before, but I think it's really cool to talk about a little bit. So I literally wrote all my notes around on my tracker from the call. So it's not anything special, but as we're talking about these niche marketing and attraction marketing, we've all done these things. And I think what I'm starting to find as being a coach for 7 years, or has it been 7 years? Well, it doesn't matter. I have to find people who I want to work with. And I know in the beginning, it's kind of like, we are so excited when someone reaches out to us and is like, oh, tell me more. And it's like, I'll tell you a little bit, but let me tell you someone who's going to be a great coach for you. But like, how do you let those people down? That's for a totally different conversation. What this conversation is really about is trying to find people who are like you, and how do you hone in on what you are like? So, we all have these 5 things that we're supposed to be, maybe we put them in our Instagram bio, these 5 overarching things that we like to do. Most of us have like health and fitness in there in some way, shape, or form. I have mine on a Post-it that's turned from 5 things to like 15 things. So it's hunting, I have a happy marriage, we go outside, self-love, cabin life, positivity, Chipotle, Marshalls, like those fun places, those things that we like to do. So how are you going to find people who are like you, who like those things? So I'm sure you've been on the power hours lately where they're getting you to go to a group account or a large account that has a lot of followers. I think I've noticed this past week, since I've been doing that consistently, that it has been working in terms of getting followers, but that's not what this is about. We can sit there and click the follow button all day. We can only do it up to like 100 people before you get into Instagram. But point is, this is a connection. This is a relationship business. As we all know, it doesn't happen overnight. You have to form these relationships with people. So what she was saying is, when you're finding your 5 things in your niche or your avatar, or whatever you want to call it, you're trying to find those people who are like you. And if you don't believe in the things that you enjoy, like, what are those hobbies that you have? Who else is going to believe it if you don't even believe it? So really focus in on them. You are an interesting person. You are cool. You are you for your own reason. Again, I say this all the time. You have Domino's on the corner and you have Little Caesars Pizza on the corner. They're a pack for different reasons because the sauce is different. So you are different in your own way. So a couple of things she was talking about is with the target audience. It's not just a mom in her 30s who wants to lose weight. Find those specific things that is going to get you to find those relatable things. It's funny because we did the same thing at my full-time job today in our breakout session. We did these relatable things. You're trying to find commonalities with people through that you are finding. They're not going to find you. There's not a 30-year-old depressed mom at home with 3 kids, tired and exhausted, getting onto Instagram saying, who am I going to find to help motivate me today? It's us looking for them. We have to reach out and find these people. So what she was saying was, think again about who you were before Beachbody. And I know we've heard this over and over again, that person you were, whether you were tired, whether you were napping on the couch every day. And this is me. We watched Finding Nemo on repeat over and over again. And I would fall asleep and the kids would be playing. It was horrible. I was a terrible mom. It was not my thing, but I was exhausted and I didn't know what to do. And so finding those moms and talking about those things in our stories, getting into people's faces. Again, we talked about so much about humanizing your account, your Instagram account, your Facebook account. Again, we're not selling things. So she's talking about how she has this makeup business. She has people flooding to her, selling hundreds and thousands, I don't know about hundreds and thousands of dollars, but she's selling a shit ton of product every month because she's being a real human. She's not saying, here's my makeup tutorial, buy this. And then their next post is, oh, me and my dog, and look, I did my 5-minute makeup today. Like, she literally is posting different things to get people to come look at her and making her account binge worthy. So finding and sharing those exciting things that you have in your life that you're doing, like Kim, you're a teacher. I'm sure you have some pretty cool like art things you can do. I mean, like just sharing about you, like really the cool things that you do. So the challenge was to go on a 30-day journey and what you're doing differently than what you're doing now is you're sharing tips and tricks. So your page isn't about, I did my workout today, because nobody gives a shit anymore. Everybody knows that. Like, they see our posts every day. Yes, you still should share that, but think about how the person on the other end is going to receive that. Why does anybody care if I did body beast today? No one cares. What they care about is how Body Beast might change their life, or how it might not be the perfect program for them, but I might have something else that might help them. So it's really just a challenge of sharing tricks, whether they relate to fitness at all. But we just had a meal prep class where I'm sure we all learned something, right? I didn't know what the heck it was. Yeah, exactly. So what did you learn? Again, I didn't know what a slurry was. So I might throw in there, hey, I thought slurry was actually ghost guts that I used to do at school projects with my kids, because that's what my mom taught me with cornstarch and water, but apparently you cook with it too. So like sharing these like little things, but like digestible content that people want to actually look at, like infotainment, like entertain people with information. Yeah, I didn't hear either. That was the first time I ever heard that. I didn't know it. I was like, I slurry my words on Saturdays.
I did on vacation.
Oh, it's so funny. But I really like this idea of the intention. We always have intention behind every post that we put out there, right? We hope maybe we can say, I went on a walk today, and someone's like, I want to walk too. Let's work out together. You know, we have intention behind our posts. But instead of it just being that, because you are special in your own way, it's sharing those tips and those tricks so that people want to come back to you and come back to you for information and maybe entertainment or whatever it is that you have to offer people. And I love that she said too, like, you're not boring, your messages. I'm like, well, thanks for telling me that. Thanks for making me feel good today. She did it in a really nice way. But what else did she say? Oh, so when you're thinking, I know I'm offloading a lot of information right now, so I'm really sorry. I just listened to this, so I'm going to word vomit all over you guys, which is what we tell us not to do. But she talked about it. So again, when you're thinking about your post, you want to create those me too moments. So those moments of someone saying me too, like I felt that way too. So thinking about things like, is it educational? Is it going to add value to people? Like, I don't do a good job. I mean, every once in a while I do, but a lot of times my posts are blah. Here's my life. Here's how I changed it. Cool. But how am I creating that moment for someone to be like, me too? Like, you want people to get in your comments like, me too. Girl, I feel this. So thinking about that and how people are going to respond. So you want to teach. And she says, if you do a sales post, you can only do that if it's solving a problem, which I think is really interesting because we try to think about that a lot too. Again, why are we on this call every Monday? When you start with why, and I'm not talking about the Simon Sinek book, I'm just talking about why do you get up and work out every morning? Why do you get up on Saturday mornings to work out as a group, together? Why do you do this every day? Because someone else is probably thinking the same thing. We've been doing personal development. We've been doing trainings for how long now? There's people out there who were like self-help books. I thought that was for people with anxiety and depression or whatever. Like, these everyday people are out there flailing, and we have to offer them what we have. And I know I can do a better job at presenting that to people and really just sharing, like, I read this today and this is what helped me. This is what my takeaway was. So just some ideas there. Another thing she said that I thought was really interesting, and I was like processing what she was saying, but it's an interesting way to think about posting too. She talked about how her Mac Air crashed today and she had to call Apple and try to figure out how to get it fixed. And all she did when she called was hit 000. She does not want an automation. She wanted to talk to a real person. And how often do we feel like that? And then how do you think our people feel as they come to us? Like, most people know that we're coaches, even though we think we're like cool and doing curiosity marketing. I'm always like baffled when someone's like, oh, you're a coach. Yeah. I'm like, how did you know? I thought I was being sneaky. No, people know these things. So like, how do we get it to make it so we're not so scripted and so that we're real? Again, humanizing our own accounts. So, and just thinking about things differently. And I love the way she talked to you about when you go to the mall and every time you go there, you don't make eye contact with the kiosk guy that has lotion because he's coming at you with a lotion. So you're like, don't like, I mean, how many times we go to the grocery store and we see some of our friends and they're like, nope. And again, they might've done that pre-beach body, but now in our heads, we're like, oh my gosh, she's just avoiding me because I'm a coach. Well, that's not true, but let's not be that person. So call it. So she talked so much about reels. And so one thing I was thinking about was like putting that into a reel and being like, how many times have you had a coach come in your inbox and be like, hey, join my team? And just some way like making a spin off of that. And I'm one to like poke fun at things because that's just my sense of humor. So do something that works for you, but it's okay to call a spade a spade. Like, we're coaches. We are ultimately wanting everybody to be on our team because we just want to share this with people. So talk about it, share it. But the one thing she was talking about with the reel too is like, it's your business card. And she's like, people have been saying that it's dying out and it's not. She said her following increased 30,000 people since August. And so all she's doing is sharing random tips. She has a great tip on how to do reels. So whenever I share her account, I'll put it in the Facebook page. You guys can see her highlights. She has make reels highlight. I actually just watched it earlier and I'm like, that was really helpful. I mean, I think I know how to make reels, but they're not user friendly. I'm not gonna lie, they're a little complicated. So
Well,
my goal, since I'm the March leader, and I know Kim took April to be the coach leader, is I want everybody to create one reel before the end of March. And that is a huge, you have a long time to do it. So your step is to learn how to make a reel if you don't know how to. Oh, Courtney, you did one tonight. Awesome. Very, very cool. So learn how to make a reel. Don't overthink it, because what's the thing we heard recently? I wrote it down. If you wait until you're ready, it's too late. And if it's March, if it's April 1st, that's April Fool's Day, you're too late. And I will totally call you out and say you did not make a reel.
reels are super hot right now. They are bringing a lot of followers to people, and especially if you can be funny on reels,
Yeah.
people like laughing and watching stupid stuff. And even if it's a little bit funny, I would do it.
Justin's gonna kill it on the reels.
Well, thanks. So sweet. Well, that's what she was saying though. Like you said, Lily, she said it's 15 seconds of serotonin boost for people. 15 seconds. And it's not, it seems hard, but once you do it, you get it out off your chest, you're gonna feel great. And maybe you're posting your little bikini picture, like, you know how I did my little kebab because I couldn't get my bikini thing. It's not me in a bikini, but it's saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. Here's my little bikini. Like, I don't know. I haven't thought too much about it, but just ways to share what we're doing and making it fun, you know. And even like, what was our faces last week. So I don't know what happened with our recording last week, but our faces, we all looked like we were having the worst time of our lives.
Yeah.
Make it fun and funny, and, you know, just sharing like how we're really not that bored. We actually had fun. I think we had fun. I think, but I don't know. It was a really good training. It made me think about how to do things differently. And, you know, it's like Lowe's, never stop improving. So that's my goal for March. Keep improving. Yeah. Okay. That was my word vomit. That was my 15-minute spiel. I just did the training earlier. I don't care if you were able to watch it yet, but it was really, really good 20-minute training she did. I can't share the video because it's in a private group, but I think I covered pretty much everything she shared. So who's like super freaked out about doing reels? Kim's like not looking at the camera. Oh, they are intimidating, but definitely, like I said, I will share her Instagram page, and she has a highlight that you can watch, and it shows you exactly how to do it. So don't overcomplicate it, which I know you will, because I do. But it's not.
Kim, it's literally like take 4 exercise moves and put the videos together with a funny saying at the end, or some kind of saying at the end with a pose from you or something. It's yeah, don't overcomplicate it. You can be super duper into it and use all kinds of different texts that fly all over the screen, or you can do it super basic as well.
And sharing from TikTok, if you've already created one, doesn't count, because that was totally what I would try to do.
Actually, Instagram is deleting TikTok videos that are shared right now.
Are they? Yeah, I know. I heard earlier that Instagram does not like TikTok. So
yeah,
there's an app you can use to remove the TikTok logo, and when you save it, it saves without the TikTok logo, and then you can reshare it to Instagram if you really care. But you can also use Triller, and they don't care about that one.
Cool.
I find it easier to make a reel than I do a TikTok video, like a million times easier.
Oh.
So
You can do training for us.
I just got in there and just started to try to do it. That's all I did. It's the same thing that I did the first day that I started recording myself. Like my coach said that I needed to get comfortable with being on camera. So I put my camera up while I was doing my workouts and I pressed record, and that's what I did. And then, when you're really working hard, you will all of a sudden here and there say things and be able to come up with things. Like you just share your heart, like how hard something is or whatever. And then I would just like take clips of that and share it. I mean, but that was like 11 years ago. So I was really using a camera. I wasn't using my phone. That's how ancient it was. But yeah, I mean, so that's all it was, is I would just start trying to do it. But yeah. And finding something that you find funny that's trending, like somebody else doing something funny. I mean, because you can go and you'll look at somebody's audio and you'll see like 30 other people doing basically the exact same video and just put different text on it, and they're just different people doing and saying the exact same voiceover. Just make sure that you're actually moving your mouth with the voiceover, because I know that's some people's, like, they get really irritated when people's mouths are not actually meeting the words in the video.
I get super irritated. And it happened to me, like when I did transition over from TikTok to Instagram, there was a delay and I'm like, I have to delete this. This is stupid. It didn't work.
Yeah, the resting mom bitch face one right now is trending very high.
I'll have to look at that one. I think already. I haven't even seen it.
Damn, I'm a natural for that. I could do that.
There you go. There's your first reel. There's other ones because just like Beverly was saying, you can save the audio. If you go to the Instagram reels, to the little icon, and you listen to whatever it is, you scroll through or whatever, you click on the actual like music or audio, depending on if it's music or voiceover, you can save that and then go back in when you do your own reels. Because I don't know how many sounds I have, but I probably have over 50 different sounds or audio or music things, just things I've saved. And you can go back and you can click on the picture and you can see what other millions of people around the world have done and get an idea. But like the mom bitch face is one. Then the other one where it's like a certain sound. There's no voice. It's just a sound. And you point. Those ones are cool because those ones you can use for like Kim's art thing or just other stuff where it's, a little bit of anything. And do it that way. Yeah, just like Lily's doing. And it's fun. You can make it, whether it's fitness or anything else. Yeah, so it's once you get the hang of it the first time, it's not scary and hard. It's just getting out of your comfort zone and actually being on camera and doing something and having so many thousands of people watching you. Not trying to scare you, but being real. I mean,
being real. I see what you did there. Melanie.
What's funny that I always thought of, like, I always thought it would be fun to be on like a reality show. Like I wanted to be on MTV's Real World or Road Rules, like so bad, right? Yeah, Beverly. And so I wanted that. And then I remember I was like 21 and just broke up with my boyfriend and they were doing Real World Denver. And I'm like, I so want to be in, but I didn't have a video camera or whatever. But now here we are. We can all do that anyway. We don't need MTV to cast us or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this is my chance. And now I'm terrified. Right? Like, and I think about it. I go through it in my head like every day. And then I don't record any of it. But it was a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was early February. So they were saying stories live on your Instagram stories versus actually in your news feed. And like, okay, so these stories are little clips into like our little real world highlights, or our little real world, like that's where we live, and these are the insights into our life and our daily whatevers. And then the highlight, or our news feed is more like our highlight. So,
Mhm.
but just doing it,
Yeah.
scary. And like, it's one of those, when you have your chance to do something and then you suddenly freeze up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, think like life hacks or just funny, like Jen, you mentioned the dog things. There was one I saw the other day where it's like you literally sit next to your dog and you don't look at your dog, but you say, Milo, like my dog's name is Milo, Milo. And the dog's like, oh, and I mean, that is so simple to do. And so it doesn't have to be you talking necessarily or teaching something, but just to get you comfortable doing that will really help you get out of your comfort zone a little bit. And again, it might increase your following a little bit. You might get a couple more followers, or somebody saying to you, hey, I have that kind of dog too, or that's my dog's name. And again, you're making connections with people. So it's fun stuff. Fun stuff. All right. So does anybody, I wonder if we are expected to provide value.
I was just thinking before we switch topics on that, because no, I just was thinking like of my page in general, what's on my page, and then if I throw random dog videos into the mix, is it going to look weird? Am I expected to like make reels with value or like related to my niche, or like I'm confused on that.
Yeah, that's a good question.
You can save your reels to, so there's 4 tabs on Instagram on your page. And so you have your main page and you can save your reels to the second tab, which is just reels. So you don't have to save it to the main page, or you can save it to both places. So that'll save your page integrity when they first look at your page.
Yeah.
So if you don't want a random weird something off promotion or off, that's a little weird, then you can just put it on your reels.
Yeah.
Although I know that Shalene, sorry, whatever that IG hub, whatever Shalene and Brock are doing, one of the things that I know that she's really saying, or that they're really saying, is that the aesthetics of your grid is no longer important. That it's more important to share shareable content. Okay. So like even sharing other people's, that's why I don't know if you've noticed it, but so many more people are sharing like just funny memes and quotes and just giving credit to those people, which is very important. Always give the credit, because then those people come back and like on that, and then those people will come and start looking at your stuff. So yeah, so I don't know that it really matters anymore. I stopped caring. Like I really did. Like I do try to keep like a side by side within my top 9, like a before and after. But other than that, I try to make it so that I don't have like 2 pictures of myself in the exact same pose next to each other, because that's just tacky to me. But like I almost had 2 flexing pictures like side by side, like literally like this, and I'm like, oh no, we can't do that. we need to come up with something else. But
yeah. So Jen, I would just say I think for like some maybe newer coaches, or if you have an established account, maybe for more of the value than something that's super quirky. But yeah, I think I get what you're saying though, because like I'm picky about the way my page looks, and if there's just something super random in there, people are like, here's a good example. I follow a kayak lovers page on Instagram because they share a lot of kayaking pictures, and then they threw up this random picture of this Asian girl, which had nothing against Asians, but it had absolutely nothing to do with kayaking. Like it was, again, when you're thinking about your target market or who your target audience is, what's going to annoy your people? Because I've been getting like ruthless with the unfollow button. I used to be like, oh my God, I don't want to hurt people's feelings. And I'm like, I don't care. This is my feed. So just thinking about that, like, who are you trying to connect with? So if you want to connect with other women who have dogs, then yeah, definitely share that and be silly and funny. But if that's not what you want to connect with, then I would say skip that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Anybody have anything else? I know Sue mentioned her internet was crappy tonight. Sorry about that. I think we lost Carol. She must have dropped off. All right.
What are we doing with the 9-week control freak group? Are we continuing that, or what are we doing since we're doing off the wall, or some of us are doing off the wall?
Are you already doing content in there, Lily?
I posted today because we didn't talk about it.
Okay.
But so I posted today, and I can continue posting, but I just didn't know because we have the other group that we have the 21 something group. So I don't know if we want to continue. I know that we still have people that are finishing, so that's why I figured we would at least do another week while people finish. But I'm up for whatever.
Can I make a suggestion that if people from the 9-week control freak would like to repeat around or do off the wall, can we move them to the 2021 one day at a time? Because Deanna is putting a lot of good content in there and it's diminishing, and I'm going to start doing my accountability in there. I know we have our private like bikini group, but I'm going to start posting my daily accountability in there just to kind of perk up like the threads, because there's still people that want to use the thread and post in there, but it'd be better if we had more people commenting on the threads too in there. So what do you think of that?
How about we take this week because I think a lot of people are finishing up that struggled behind.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we take this week to move people over and we post in both places, and then starting next week we post in the 2021.
Maybe we just let them know, like, why don't we see, ask in that 9-week control freak when everybody's finish date will be. And that's when we can close out that group, because I don't want to cut anybody off either.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds good.
So yeah,
are we closing the bod group too?
I would assume, I think that would be the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can, well, we don't have another group open on the bod group, do we? That's active? I don't think we do.
No, we don't. Not as a team. We don't have one open.
And there are people in there that I don't know whose customers they are. So, and they've been posting on a regular basis. So I guess I'll see if they post this week, and then I can throw something in our coach page and we can figure it out.
But I wonder, can we just change the title of that to 21 day at a time? And not that we have to have content posted in there all the time, but maybe that's just an accountability thread, for our shakeout and our workouts.
Yeah, we can do that.
I mean, because all those people with 9-week control freak are going to need to transition to something else too. And some people might like bod better than Facebook.
Oh, nice.
One day at a time. Yeah. Thanks, Kim.
Yep, I'm going to do the same thing. I just offered it to a couple of people tonight. I said, here's what is going on next. And I just outlined, like, if they want to go hardcore and do a bikini prep with me, they can, or they could go to 2021, and I'm going to be posting there too. And then I let them know about our mini challenge for a week of squat, butt and abs. And then we always have the Thursday nutrition call.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I just outlined for my customers that are scattered, so that they can decide what they want to do.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm wondering too, I know we're a little over time, but I guess I struggle, like, how do we share this? I know we talked about this earlier in our call, but how do you share this with your team? Like, I've got like 15 coaches. Again, most of them are discount coaches, obviously, but even as a discount coach, I don't understand why people wouldn't want to come and just do this and just think and brainstorm. Like, how do you, if you were to tell your best friend about this call right here, what would you say?
Well, I think first they have to want to be involved in something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the first step.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Because if we were to invite them here and we're talking about business strategies, it wouldn't make sense unless you wanted to work on a business.
Exactly.
But what I would say to them is that we have these calls every week to help each other and come up with ideas and make it easier, and we do a lot of stuff together. And we use the Monday night calls to discuss that and kind of like outline, make sure everybody understands and is on the same page. And honestly, that's so helpful if you're a new coach. But again, they have to want to like hear about the business part of it to be here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So should we do our own like coach sneak peek one Monday night?
We've been trying to do sneak peek for like months. Yes, Courtney, would you like to run it?
I haven't said anything.
No, it's funny. It's just, I think we're still scheduled for the 21st and I have not done any content at all.
No, it's been like bottom of my list, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess I my mind keeps going to just sharing about the community, and I figure it will organically come. It's just part of sharing about the challenge groups and again about the community, because we show up here, like we get on team calls together and work out together because we like each other, and it's accountability and it's a different level of it. And so I don't know, I'm just rambling here, but
No, I see, and I like that, and I really I do feel like sharing about our community is really super helpful. Like I shared, when I first shared about it a couple weeks ago, I got like crazy big reaction of like, yeah, me too. Like I get it, we need this community. I feel like that's something a lot of people are, they're lacking. It's I don't know, listening to the like Hillary, her coach or her VIP customer training, but that and the national wake up calls is that's one of our 4 pillars of success in Beachbody, right? Is community recognition. Like we have everything that people have not been getting for the last year.
yeah.
So we are ahead of the curve, like we're already here, but we need to sell that and we need to get that out.
Yeah, I think that's where my brain is like, just I know I need to talk about it, but I'm like, done. So something to think about.
Yep, definitely.
All right, let's do a group picture. Thanks, Melanie, for grabbing
I
one.
was just gonna say that. It's like, I've got my camera right here. I'm like,
You ready? You ready?
everybody look
Okay.
at the camera.
Are we gonna do it?
Oh, here, we can stop recording this.